Good morning, traders. Welcome to this week's ELLIOTTWAVE Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. I hope you all had a great week. Welcome to another edition of our Trading Waves, where we analyze the market using the Elliott Wave principle method. Right, so as usual, what we do is we look at what we forecasted in the last week, how the market played out, and the outlook going into the new week. Right, before we get started, if you'd like to contact us, please check out our YouTube channel here and subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. Give us a thumbs up if you like our content, and don't forget to hit that bell notification button so that you can get an alert the next time we upload a video. Right, so let's just have a look here. If you'd like to contact us, our contact details are on all our videos. You can just go to click more under the description of all our videos. You'll find our contact details. Those are the two mobile numbers, as well as the links to our social media pages. You can check them out there. So we've got a link to trading to the Telegram channel, as well as the link to TradingView where you can follow us. We also have the two social media pages, that is on Twitter and Facebook, where we post every single day charts that we see potential trade setups in, as well as our website, trading-waves.com. You can go to our website and you can look out for the specials. We're going to be running a special in May. Just keep your eye on the website. We're going to have a special for the courses in May. So you just look out for that. And also under resources, look out for our chart of the week. We've got a brand new chart of the week updated. We update these charts every single week on the website. Right, so let's get right into it. As I said, we are going to start with a recap of how the market has been playing out, and then we're going to look at how it has played out, as well as the outlook going into the new week. So let's start. What we do is we've got our charts on our Slack channel. This is where we communicate with our members. So these are all the charts. So basically what we've posted here is with the charts that we have shared with our members before the move. So I've already opened these links onto Opera here. So let's just open them from Opera. You will see that this one is a pound US dollar chart that was posted on the 14th of February. That is about 2 months ago, Valentine's Day. This was a Valentine special. So let's have a look here. So this is how we analyze the market and how we forecast the market. What you will notice here, just look out on the green here, you'll see that we had an ABC structure here, but we're looking for this to eventually push to the upside after playing out that last move. So we understand how the structure is supposed to play out, and this is why we had this focus that we need to see a move coming to the downside before we can trade this impulse. So now, how did the market play out? Now, what you will see is the market has played out exactly as we had initially anticipated. The only difference is that the structure in which it played out. So you saw that it was an ABC structure, but we have now updated it to a WXYXZ structure. Nothing has changed. We still wanted it to do that, which it has done, and we don't trade this. We are not trying to trade these corrections. What we're trying to trade is these big moves. As you can see here, we had this big move here of 740 pips between March as well as the end of beginning of April or mid-April, which is now. So 740 pips was forecasted, and this is how we look at the market. This is the Elliott wave principle, the Elliott wave method. So we can trade 2, 3, 5, and 10 times moves ahead of time before they play out, because the method gives us that opportunity. It is that accurate. So that is a pound US dollar. Let's have a look at the rest of the charts. Just a recap on that. So this was a simple one, really. So the move was already underway. So all we needed to do was just to hop onto the move, and we just needed to get this one here and get an entry here. If you were late with the move, if you didn't get it here on the blue box, you could also still have had it here when it pulled back here for a continuation move to the downside. And you'll see this was US dollar chief, and this was a 1 hour chart. As you can see here, that was the pullback here. And we eventually, after the pullback, got that 465 easy pips. Okay, so that was the US dollar chief. So now let's look at US dollar CAD. Now, US dollar CAD, you're going to see how interesting this is, because we have been forecasting this move over the last 2 weeks. Okay, so before that, we were focusing that this should come and break the top here. Why is it important for it to break the top? It is for it to complete the structure. What structure are we talking about? We're talking about the Elliott wave structures and patterns, as well as the symmetry there. So you will see here that this was a complex B correction in the purple degree. So that is why we wanted this to push to the upside first, come break the top so that we can trade this to the downside. And as you have seen, if you're watching your charts, you will see that US dollar CAD is already down about 566 pips from where we focused. Remember, this was the chart. This is where we were looking for it to go up 334 pips and 566 pips to the downside. This already is almost close on 1,000 pips, 900 close on 1,000 pips on US dollar CAD. So that is how we focused it. And I'll show you why we are looking at this structure like this on US dollar CAD. We are around this level at the moment. Where to now? So you'll see that as we start with the market analysis just in a bit. Now, a classic example of a triangle, a contracting triangle on gold from just the last week here, 3rd of April, we posted this chart for our members, showing them how we have a classic case of a triangle, A, B, C, D, E, and we wanted to see this move push to the upside. Look how simple that is. $100 move from 119.81, rather not from 119.81, from here at 119.50 to about 20.50. It's $100 move, and for gold, if you trade gold, you will know how big that move is. That's $100 move, or you can call it a 948 points on gold. Simple move, and you cannot trade gold and not be able to get silver because they are correlated. So with that move, we were also looking at the silver trade setup here. We were looking for it to pull back and continue pushing to the upside as well. And as you will see here, silver has done exactly that pullback that we wanted to see here, and we have now pushed up about 460 points from $21 to about $26. That is a $4 move, and as you know, that for silver, that is quite a significant move. All right, so that is silver. And lastly, let's have a look at the Nifty. Nifty was in the blue box. Actually, it was before the blue box. We wanted it to come into the blue box so that we can see a push to the upside. What is the blue box? How do we focus the blue box? That is what we show in our courses. And as I've said, if you're interested in our courses and if you want to see the market the way we look at the market, you can join our course, or you can buy our course on our website, or you can wait for the special that we're going to be introducing. So between now and May, look out for those specials for the course on our website. Now, this is how the Nifty played out as anticipated. We waited for it to come into the blue box. This is what we wanted to buy, and it has already made 2,030 points there. So from 17 or 16,800, we are now already on 17,800 as far as Nifty is concerned. All right, so let's get right into the market analysis. What are we seeing the market doing into the coming weeks? So let's have a look at that. Let's have a look at Euro US dollar. Now, Euro US dollar, we have been saying that it looks likely that it may. If you remember 2 weeks ago, we were looking for this possibility as well. So let's just remove everything here, and then we just look at the structure. Let's remove all the labeling and the lines here, so we can just look at the structure. If you remember last week, we were seeing this to be making a possible move like this, where we could have this one dropping here like this. Let me draw it cleanly here. If you look at this one here, there are two things here. So the first one was that this could be making a three-wave move here, and we could see this one come here and make this structure. Okay, why were we looking for that? Because then that would have been a WXY structure, and that will push this to the upside. Do you see that this has not played out? But that has not invalidated the structure. What that means is it's just that the Y leg is not ready as yet. And how do we know that the Y leg is not ready? If we're forecasting this, because we've got a special indicator that tells us that this is not ready to make a push to the upside. Okay, so now for those that knows indicators, not the special indicator that we use, just simple RSI divergence. I'm going to show you simple RSI divergence. You'll see that with the RSI divergence, this is not telling you that this is going to push to the upside. It is still telling you that as much as we're going to the upside, we're going to get a move to the downside. Now, I'm just talking about RSI here. We're not even talking structure that Euro is coming is playing out. We're not even talking the move that the Elliott wave move that we're anticipating with the Euro. Okay, so that is the structure. You can see here we've got strong divergence. So likely the structure that might play out here on the Euro is this here. So you will see that we've already made a move down here in 3 waves. We've made a move up here in 3 waves. Let's have a look here. We've got what looks like a running flat here. This is your running flat here. So that is another 3-wave move on the Euro. No, this will not be surprising to see this come down here with an impulse or with three waves to build this structure here like this, where you're going to have a regular flat. So anticipate, wait for confirmation that this move is actually going to play out to the downside. Now, if we're saying the euro is going to come down here, that means you may have a push up on the dollar index. Is that the move? We just need to wait for that confirmation, because otherwise this would have already completed this three-wave structure. And if it breaks the top here, that means we're going to see further upside. But our bias is mostly likely going to be these three waves to the downside or five waves to the downside. But you should have a trade setup. This is not a trade setup. We don't come and sell here because there's no confirmation. We use our special indicator to confirm that Elliott wave structure. Now, if that is the case, obviously the DXY should be forming an inverse structure to the upside. If that plays out, so we'll be looking for the DXY to do that. So you can see the DXY has already done the same thing, but in the inverse, 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 down. So we're anticipating a possible five-way move to the upside to come break the top here on the DXY. It's going to be a very interesting week next week. So look out for those structures, see how they play out. So because after it breaks to the top here, we'll anticipate that the dollar will continue with its weakness again. All right, so let's have a look at the rest of the structures here. Okay, we'll run through this quickly. I've shown you pound US dollar. I've shown you how we forecasted the pound from here, expecting that it's going to come down here, and that's 765 odd pips that we pushed to the upside here. What does that mean if the euro is coming down? If that is the case, then this is the structure that we've been showing. And if you look at our video 2 weeks ago, go and check out that we forecasted exactly the same, that if we get to this level, we may still get this one coming to the downside, whether it comes down in 3 waves or 5 waves. So that is what we're going to be looking at for. We're going to be looking out for this confirmation. And if it does that, that means we've got a complex B correction here in the middle, which we'll be looking for it to complete. Then you'll have here a WXY textbook structure here, where you get a blue box and you can have a move to the downside for a couple of pips to the downside. This is almost quite a number of pips to the downside. If it plays out, that's about 600, 780 odd pips that you can get with pound US dollar. All right, so keep an eye on that. So I'm on the 4-hour chart here, so we'll be looking for this one here. So another case of a divergence here. So just look at divergence. Now, every time I show divergence here and on the other side, people think I'm showing you the special indicator that we use. No, this is the simple divergence that anybody knows that you can use from the RSI oscillator or from the MACD oscillator. That is not the indicator that we use. The indicator that we use tells you confirmation. Divergence does not tell you whether this is going to come down. It tells you that this move is not going to be sustainable, but the indicator will tell you that the move has ended. It's time to buy or sell. Right, pound US dollar, that is that. US dollar CAD, so that's another one that we've shown last week. Go look at last week or 2 weeks ago, where we said that this one here will be making a complex B correction, similar to what we're expecting here with the pound. Okay, so exactly the same structure that we're expecting with the pound, we'll be watching the same thing here. So let's just compare the structure. You'll see that that structure is the same as pound US dollar structure. Okay, I wanted to try and bring them up both on the same window. Let's try to bring them up on the same window. I'm not able to do that, am I? Yes, there we go. So look on the left-hand side. Look on the left-hand side. And I want you to look on the right-hand side for CAD. If you look at 100, look at the similarities here. Obviously, the left-hand side has not quite played out as yet. Look at what we're trying to see here. These fractals, look at this here. So what we're trying to see here is the same structure. Let's clear everything. What we're trying to look out for here is the same structure. And this is not guesswork. This is based on the structure and the sequence that US dollar CAD is, rather pound US dollar is making, which looks similar to what US dollar CAD has done. So this is what we're looking for, that US dollar CAD will come break the low here before pushing to the upside. The same thing that we said, and we've shown this one for free for a couple of weeks before this happened, that it was going to come down and we're going to see a move to the upside. Now, the same thing that we're anticipating here on CAD. So we already had the CAD playing out. So we're anticipating that pound US dollar will do the same thing. Pound US dollar will do the same thing. CAD has already completed, has already done this one, has already done this one, which we want to see on pound US dollar. Watch out, guys. This could be your move. This could be your your chart for the coming week. Our members will know when to enter into these trades, okay? Very important for the coming week. All right, so let's have a look at the rest of the market. That is a pound US dollar is going to be very interesting. US dollar CAD is going to be very interesting. US dollar chief, we've already shown that one. It's coming down. We've already shown how we traded it from the pullback here. So it's just going to make a bit of a pullback to the upside here because we're anticipating that the euro will start a move to the downside. Will we see US dollar chief continue to push to the upside? That is we don't have a clear structure at this stage, but we'll expect it to just do the inverse of what the euro is doing. Right, now we've got here Audi US dollar. So if we are anticipating that the dollar will show some strength in the coming week, obviously we'll anticipate that we'll see some weakness in the pairs that are paired against the US dollar. Now this is Audi US dollar. We've already made an impulsive move here. It's made a three-wave pushback here. So this is the structure that you're looking for here. It's made a WXY structure before we get a move to the downside. So don't be surprised if you see this move does this, because that will just be completing that Y. So just because you've got this impulse here, it's not showing you that it's going to make a move to the downside. You make it one push to the upside before you drop. So, but we are watching for that. We're looking for that structure to conclude, so we can get a blue box and move to the downside. If you don't get a blue box, we'll still get an indicator to show us when to get that. So you can see here on New Zealand US dollar, same thing. We've made a three-wave pullback here. Look at this clear three-wave pullback. Let me remove the lines here so we can just see the structures again. It's always easier to just look at the structures and all this instead of all these labelings. We've got a three-wave move and we've already made a move to the downside. Okay, we've started a move to the downside with one. We're looking for this one to push to the downside. Likely that we break this low here on New Zealand. So this one is made a clear ABC corrective structure. ABC corrective structure. Okay, right, so that is what we have, and then we'll be looking for this to continue to the downside. US dollar ZAR, it's usually correlated to US dollar CAD, so won't be surprising to see US dollar ZAR continue to push to the downside here. So for now, we may see, because we're anticipating some short-term dollar strength, US dollar ZAR can do this, which is going to have which will then have completed the structure like this: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, breaks the top. We'll expect that after breaking the top, we see a move to the downside in impulse or in three waves to complete this structure. But for now, let's see how that plays out. So if the CAD continues to just push to the downside, we may just break here, then we still have the move to the upside. So those are, so as you see here, there are a number of ways that I'm focusing here. It is still the same structure, which could just take different parts. So if in this case, it plays out, what we are going to anticipate is just for the corrective structures to play out. And then you will have a simple WXY corrective structure. Either way, whichever path it takes, all you're looking for is to trade this leg. We're looking to trade the impulses. We don't trade the corrections, because those could take you through an emotional roller coaster ride. Right, so let's have a look here. Yen pairs. Now, last week we've been saying that the yen pairs look likely to be dropping, but we have not got that drop. Could it be that the direction has changed or the structure is still evolving? The structure looks likely to be still evolving, which if you look at US dollars yen, you could be having a running flat there for a move like this before we drop. So we're going to still see some upside on US dollar yen, which could make a structure like this. But let's see here how it's going to play out. For now, just focus on this making a move to around this level before coming down. That is US dollar yen. Pound yen also still showing a bit of upside, but that upside as well could just be completing this structure here. Okay, we could see this one complete the structure before we make a move to the downside. It is still the yen pairs, it's still the corrective structure. We're still anticipating that the yen pairs will drop, but as it is now, we have not got the confirmation for that drop as yet. Euro yen similarly has made a three-wave pullback, a very interesting three-wave pullback, by the way, but this is not tradable as yet. So we're looking at this one to have made that structure, and this move to around this level. Will it break the top before making a push to the downside? Because then it will be making a 1, 2, 3, and then we anticipate another 5 waves or 1, 2, 3 here, which makes a structure here with a complex P before we make a move push to the upside. Actually, that will be a complex X correction, because then you'll have WXY structure there. Okay, so let's keep an eye on this one. So for now, not a trade there to look out for. Chief yen, the same, similar to euro yen. It is making a three-wave pullback, likely a three-wave pullback. And if you look at this one, last week we said this has made a three-wave structure like this: 1, 2, 3. It looks like we're making another 1, 2, 3. Could we just break the top here before making a push to the downside? So let's see how this comes down. How it comes down is very important because that will determine the structure that it's going to play out, whether it's WXY or the ABC. That is quite key in terms of the trading the Elliott wave theory, right? WXY, that will be what we're looking at there. Can we come take the top here? That remains to be seen. Let's keep an eye. Let's check that one. Now, if you look at US dollar, rather carry yen, we are looking at this structure. It is pulling back 1, 2, 3. We're anticipating that this is going to come down here, but as you can see, it is still building a sideways structure here, which looks like a running flat 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3 up, which looks like a WXY corrective structure. And if we get to a Y, we break the top here, we'll be looking for this one to start making a push to the downside with this flat correction, regular flat. It's going to be a very interesting one where we could even have a blue box. New Zealand. Right, New Zealand yen, interesting because we've already started with an impulsive move to the upside. We've got three waves down here, with what looks like another three waves to the upside. We could have this one coming down here, making a push here, giving us these three waves before we get a move to the downside. Then we'll integrate this with the rest of the structure. So if I needed to do that with the rest of the structure, just so you can see that we're not just drawing lines, there is a clear relationship between what we are doing and the Elliott wave principle. Now, if you look at the first purple here, that will be your W. If you look at the yellow, that will be your X. If you look at your purple, that will be your Y. And that will be a structure here in the middle here, which gives you your complex X correction, complex X correction. So if this plays out like that, we're simply looking for that. Now, where does this come from? It is an end. It is the front end of the very detailed analysis on New Zealand yen. So we're just looking at the last structure here, which would be like that. So that's what we're looking at here. That's what we're looking at here, the bigger structure. So are we going to get this making move to the downside, pushing to the upside and then downside? Let's keep an eye. Let's wait for those confirmation. Audi yen. Similarly, we should see a bit of a push to the upside to complete that structure because it looks incomplete as it is. So we'll be looking for this one to have made any impulse and move to the downside. Look for this one to continue pushing to the upside before we get a move to the downside. Gold, we've already gone through this one during the recap. Now, let's look here at gold. Let's go to the daily chart here and look how interesting gold could be. Now, if you look at gold, we've been saying this structure. We've been seeing this structure on gold. We look for this gold to do this, to push up higher, to even see break higher than 2,200, to push out like that. It's still possible, but there's also this possibility, which will not change structure. It just means you need to be patient because the market does not play out how we want it to. We just follow the market now. This is the structure. We're still anticipating the same structure. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Breaks the top, or it doesn't break the top. It makes a regular flat with the complex B correction. We get another 1, 2, 3 before we push to the upside. Let's use that 1, 2, 3 with a different color. 1, 2, 3 before we make a move to the upside. 1, 2, 3 before we push to the upside. That will be a WXY structure with a complex X correction. Can we get that on gold? Will we have changed the structure where we were looking for this to just go like that? It would not have changed. It just means that we were not ready to go yet. But are we losing money? We're not losing money because we've traded this whole leg from right here at the bottom. Now, it could just mean that we can look at one more down before we push to the upside. Is that the case? Or we are going to see this one just pulls back and continues to push to the upside and still confirms this one here. Either way, as you can see, the direction is upside. We just need to see if we're going to have one more down first before we push to the upside. Indicator is going to be very key in that instance so that we can get that right. Right now, silver, I've already shown you what we're anticipating with silver. You've got 1, 2, 3. You've got 1, 2, 3. Is that the end of this move? Looks like we could still have this 1, 2, 3 as well, which could make this as a WX. Just like gold, we can have one more down here before we push to the upside. If we don't get that one more down, that means that we've got this ready to push to the upside. And this is our ABC complete structure. And we're going to see a move to the upside. All right. So that is silver. Let's have a look at oil now, or rather platinum first. Now, platinum as well has made these three waves. If you remember the three waves here, I'm on the daily chart here. This is a five-wave move to the downside. Yes, it's a five-wave move to the downside. It's a three-wave move pullback. It's a five-wave move to the downside. And if you look here, you've got here an ending diagonal. You've got an ending diagonal, okay, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'll show that just now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3 wave pullback. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we push to the upside. So that's why this is a clear ABC corrective structure, ABC corrective structure. And we're going to get this one here to be a three-wave move here. 1, 2, 3, possible. If not, and we're starting the move to the downside, can this be a structure like this? Can still be. All right, so either way, structure does not change. It is still building up the corrective structure. So that's what we're going to be looking at now. If we're doing that, so that means this ABC in yellow will be a WX in white. Higher degree, you can have this one here playing out as follows, and you can still have structure like this. Ever changed anything? I think I've not changed anything. All right, so that is the structure. This is our structure. So now, if you're wondering how these lines and how we come up with these structures, this is based on the book that Elliott wrote himself, Masterworks. That is the book that was written by Elliott himself. That is not the stuff that you find on Google. It's just the stuff that you find on ELLIOTTWAVE. All right, so that is platinum, Brent crude oil. Let's have a look at Brent crude oil. We've been saying Brent crude oil has got the likely possibility to even go as low as 30,000. For now, we're seeing a pullback here. Could be a three-wave pullback here. We will see this continue to the upside. But for now, let's see if we're going to have some consolidation here for a move to the upside before we drop. So once you drop here, we're going to see very low levels because the higher degree structure on oil is showing us long-term low levels on oil. Let's see how that will play out. Pound pairs, I'm not even going to dwell much on the pound pairs, and I'm going to go to the lower degree. I've been saying with the pound pairs, since we built this impulse, that just look out for upside on the pound pairs. Now, if you've been trading pound pairs since the beginning of the year, you will know that we've just been trading this leg to the upside. Should still continue to push to the upside. Now, any opportunity that you get to trade that to the upside, you do that. It is not ready yet for a reversal. Similarly, pound New Zealand, I'm not going to go through pound New Zealand. What I'm going to go through now is pound CAD. Now, pound CAD, when I look at pound CAD, you've got a clear structure here of a complex B correction. Remember, pound, US dollar CAD. We've got the same structure, complex B correction, and we're looking for this to come down here. If you miss this, you need to come join our course because we don't miss such trades because we're going to get an opportunity to take this to the downside, and that's going to be a couple of hundreds of pips. So look at this one here. I've shown this one here, almost 1,000 pips to the downside if you catch that one at the right time and you execute it correctly. So that is a pound CAD. I'm going to go to the lower time frame 4 hour so you can have a look at this one. Right, so we'll be looking at trading these ones here. So look at that. Look out for that. Pound chief. Now look at what we're expecting on pound chief. I'm going to switch on here, just my labelings. Now if you look at pound chief here, I'm going to just mark this here with the lines that I've got, so just so I can get it right. So we've got that. And what we're seeing here is that this is going to do 1, 2, 3, and upside. Okay, let's switch that off. Right, why? Why am I showing those lines? It's not guesswork. So what we are seeing here is that this is a move down, this is a complex B correction, and that is a three-wave structure here with 1, 2, 3. All right, now if that is the case, that means you have got this one is 1, 2, 3, you've got this one here. I should have probably used a different color. Let me try use a different color here so it can be clear. One. Let me use a different color here. Red. Right, now with that, let's go purple. Let's go purple. That is what we're going to be looking for, purple. And for this to continue to the upside. Now, the bigger move here is the big degree ABC in the super cycle degree that will have a complex B correction as well here. There's the super cycle degree, the whole thing here, ABC. That is what you're looking out for. ABC in the super cycle degree. I'm not going to go to the lower degrees, but you can see that in the lower degrees, you also have an ABC structure here, possibly here in the red degree, and here in the lower degrees in the B, you also have an ABC. ABC, and in the Y degree, you've got a WXY, got a WXY structure. Okay. Excuse my writing, but that is what we're looking for. I'm not confusing. I don't want to confuse you with the details of the labelings, because that is not the key thing here. The key thing is you understand the structure. Look at the colors. That is what is giving you the structure. But more than anything, you need to understand when to pick this one up for a trade to the upside. Okay, we are seeing the pound pair still continuing to push slightly higher. Now we want to see that euro pound complete this structure. Can we still see this one come down here? This is not clear. We can still go sideways. We can still look at this one as a three-wave structure to have gone down here in this fashion. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 before we push to the upside again. So let's just keep an eye on this one. We could be getting a WXY corrective structure here on the euro pound, which could give us this structure, regular flat. So for now, you sit on your hands, wait for that to play out. All right, this one is Euro Chief. I'm going to skip through Euro Chief. The structure is not yet clear, still building. Now, anything that has got CAD in it, so as the quoted pair, look to sell those. It's similar to Euro CAD. You're looking to sell 1, 2, 3 Euro CAD in that. Pull back, you look to sell this. All right, so this one's 3 waves to the downside, 3 waves to the upside, 1, 2, 3. Look to sell those. All right, so anything that has got a CAD in it, Audi CAD. Same thing. Look at that. It's all coming down. New Zealand CAD. It's all coming down. I'm not going to go through all of those things. Now you've got a CAD as the base on CAD Chief. Okay, you've got CAD as the base on CAD Chief, but it's the only one that you will see going up, and it's got a clear structure here. Look at that one here. You've got 1, you've got 2, you've got 3, expecting this one to push to the upside. So CAD is showing strength. That's why base CAD pairs, although that's why pairs that have got the CAD as the base, you'll see them push to the upside. Pairs that have got the CAD as the quoted pair, you'll see them going down, right? So that's what you're looking at on CAD Chief. Now, just to recap on the rest, Euro Audi, look for that to continue pushing to the upside again. Okay, we're still on the Euro pairs. I was just going through all the pairs with a CAD in them. I'm not going to repeat them, so look for this one to continue to the upside. Audi New Zealand, you already know what we're looking at with the Audi New Zealand. We're looking for this one to just give us 5 waves to the upside before we get a pullback in 3. Okay, so I've already gone through the crosses. Audi Chief. Audi is showing weakness. Will it continue? Will it push to the upside here? We've got a 3-wave structure here. Will it break this and just continue to the downside? Likely that this can do this here and come and break the top here and give us this structure here in the higher degree. For now, we're seeing downside, but this downside is not safe to trade because we're right here at the structural line. New Zealand CAD, we've already gone through that. New Zealand Chief, all looking bearish. The S&P 500, we are seeing a move like this, and I'm not going to go to the daily, but what I want you to see here is that we already have simple structures here. This is 1, 2, 3. This looks like another 3 waves that we are making here. One, expand, rather running flat. We were expecting the S&P 500 to do this. Will it eventually do this? We are still watching to see what structures these indices are building here. So this is a 3-wave structure here on the S&P 500. We could still see it pushing to the upside in the week before we do this structure. Okay, will it make that structure? So let's just keep an eye on that, on how the S&P 500 develops. Obviously, the Dow Jones Industrial will be similar. We also have the same thing here with 1, 2, and this one you can even look at it like this. You can have a look at this one and say, having made a running flat, you've got 3 waves down, you've got 3 waves up, you've got 3 waves to the downside. Now it looks like we are making 1, 2, 3 to the upside. Okay, 1, 2, 3 to the upside. Can we come and take the top here, 3,800 as far as the Dow Jones Index is concerned? Very likely, because you see this one here, you've got here a blue box structure here for this to push to the upside. So very likely that we are making a WX. We're going to see downside. Don't worry so much about the downside. We're still pushing to the upside on the Dow Jones Industrial. All right, transportation, similarly. I'm not going to go through transportation. I'm going to go straight to the NASDAQ. So the Nasdaq has got a similar structure, and you can see that the Nasdaq will continue to push to the upside. Let me put it on the daily because this one is already pretty much impulsive. So what we are seeing here is we've got 5 waves to the downside, and this here is starting to make a leg here in 5 waves. So we're starting to see this one starting with a leading diagonal in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if that is the case, we can see we'll start expecting that we get a 3-wave pullback for this to make a move to the upside. If that is the case, that is the leading diagonal, that will be your A, B, C corrective structure. And your leading diagonal can be labeled with 5 waves here. Okay, so that means what you have here is 1 move to the downside, a 3-wave move, 2-wave move in ABC, and we can have another 5 waves before we push to the upside. So for now, can we see this one give us a 3-wave pullback? This 3-wave pullback may not necessarily happen here. It can push slightly up higher if you remember, or if you know the principle of a diagonal is that it can push up the boundary before pulling back here for a leg to the upside. So we'll keep an eye, we watch that. DAX, let's have a look at the DAX. So DAX, we've been anticipating that this is going to make a regular flat. Is that the case? Let's have a look here. It may not be the case here, so let's have a look. We may have already made a 3-wave move here. We want to see if this is going to go, just go straight, break the top and break and continue to the upside. Let's watch on the DAX. Okay. We also have the Nikkei. Nikkei is still in this complex structure that has been building for the past 2 years, since 2021, where you've got this one as a 3-wave structure, 1, 2, 3. This one looking like another 3-wave structure, where we're looking at this one as another 3-wave structure here. Could this one be making 1, 2, 3? Will it go take the top? Very likely. If it does that, we can come back with a 1 before we push to the upside, and you're going to have a WXY structure. Okay. So that's how we're looking at it. And if you see here in the lower degree, 1, 2, 3. Those are the 3 waves. 1, 2, 3. Those are the 3 waves. 1, 2, 3. That's what we're expecting. See how clear the X wave is? That's why we are looking at it like that. That is the Nikkei. And lastly, on the indices, it's the Nifty. You've seen this one during trade recap, how we focused this one from the blue box. We waited for it to come to the blue box. Now we are seeing the 3 waves. We're anticipating that this will break out of this structure, and we're going to see continuation to the upside. Now, if you remember last week, we were anticipating that this could even make a structure like this, where this one is a expanding flat, and that it can come down for this before it goes. As you can see here, it means that this is a complete structure. Has made a move to impulsive move to the upside. This is just a pullback. We should see the Nifty continue to push to the upside and see much higher levels. All right, so that's that. Let's have a look at the crypto space now. Bitcoin. So if you remember last week, 2 weeks ago, we posted a video with the caption, "Is it time to invest in crypto?" This is because of what we were seeing in the crypto space. So what were we seeing in the crypto space? At that stage, what we were seeing was that we're starting to see some reversal here. We're starting to see this one making a move to the upside. Now, we wanted to know whether this is going to make a structure like this and just continue to the downside before we see a move to the upside. We said there are 2 ways here. If this structure is invalidated, which it is now, this structure is now invalidated as far as the principles, the rules, and the guidelines of an expanding flat. This does not comply to those principles now. So that means you don't have an expanding flat, and which means that Bitcoin has made a reversal. Now, how far will that reversal be? The furthest this can be before we see any move is that this can go back to around 40, 45,000 before we start seeing any pullback. Now, if we start seeing any pullback around here, that means you're going to see further upside on the crypto space, and that will be playing out this big expanding flat that we'll be looking at since 2021. Is that the case? We are looking at it in an impulse right now, and we can see if we see any pullback here, that means the crypto space could be ready for quite a significant move to the upside. So let's keep an eye on that. Could be time to reverse to invest on crypto, but you need to put some money on that because you can't just leave it as it is. Let's have a look at Ethereum. So Ethereum, as we were saying at the time, we were saying that this is making a push to the upside. We were here, and Ethereum could have just made, and if can still make a structure like this, where you just have a three-way pullback, then you see a move to the downside. But what we're seeing here, we're expecting a similar structure to that of Bitcoin. We're expecting this to have made this big expanding flat, and we're starting a move to the upside. But for now, we want to see Ethereum get up back to around 32,000 before we see any pullback. Litecoin, we've got the same structure as you can see here, but instead of an expanding flat, this looks like a zigzag with A, B, C. Now with Ethereum, looks like we've started a move to the upside. We're making a move to the upside here. If we start making a move here, we should see this one come back to around 200 before any pullback, because it will just be playing out this structure, which is an ABC corrective structure as far as Ethereum is concerned. All signs and indications are for an upside, at least back to the 225 levels on Litecoin. And lastly, I'm going to look at Ripple. Ripple, similarly, we were looking at Ripple to be possibly making 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Let's do this again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Breaks the top, makes one leg to the downside before it pushes to the upside. But with what we are seeing with Bitcoin, doesn't look likely that is the structure that's going to play out. Looks like just like Bitcoin, just like Litecoin, it has also completed this bigger corrective structure, and we are going to start seeing upside here from here. Let's watch this space here for at least a move back to the 1.2 levels as far as Ripple is concerned. All right, so that's all I have for this week, guys. If you like our content, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so, and hit that bell notification button so that the next time we upload a video, you get an alert. All right, and share this with friends and those that are interested in trading and the ELLIOTTWAVE principle. And don't forget to check out our specials on our website. Have a great week, everybody. Trade responsibly. Cheers. Bye-bye.